Hello, how you doing today?
All right.
And what did I just stop you about today? What are we talking about?
You said anxiety.
And what else?
I forgot the first one.
Foot photography.
Foot photography.
Okay. Now, what is the first thing you think about when you think about foot photography and anxiety together? Like, how do you think that correlates? I want to know what you think first of all.
I have no idea.
No idea?
I don't like feet, so maybe that's what it is. Like
Okay. Well,
fear of feet. I don't know.
so did you honestly believe that somebody was going to walk up to you and ask to do an interview with you today?
No, not at all.
So now that it's happening, how you feeling?
The same. Not too much pressure.
Oh, okay. Well, my first question to start off the interview is like, how do you feel about your own feet? Do you like them? Not like them? Think they're pretty? Not pretty? How you feel about them?
My feet are fine.
Oh, they're fine. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's real good. Now, what about pedicures? Do you get pedicures at all?
Yes, I need one now, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, how often do you get that done?
Every 3 weeks or so.
3 weeks. I always hear 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
It's usually 2 weeks.
Oh,
But
okay. All right. And now, what is like your favorite color?
purple.
Purple. Okay. You like to paint all your nails purple all the time?
No. A lot of times I switch it up. So sometimes I'll go bright, orange, yellow. I go blue.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like yeah, white is my personal favorite. But all right, compliments. Do you ever get any compliments on your feet at all?
My feet aren't usually out unless I'm at home. So no.
No. So, okay, well, I'm gonna throw a hypothetical situation at you.
Okay.
Let's say that a guy in particular walked past you, like you passed him by, and you were wearing some sandals or whatever, open-toe shoes, and he crossed your path and said, "Hey, man, you got really, really sexy feet." How would that make you feel?
Awkward.
Awkward. Now, why awkward?
Because I don't like feet personally. So
Okay. All right. So you like, is there certain compliments that you accept and certain compliments that you like awkward? Like, so would a compliment, for example, about your eyes or your hair, would that be awkward?
no. I'll just
Okay.
say thank you.
Okay. Now, what is the difference between the two?
It's more visible than my feet is. I don't know.
Okay. You
There's
sure?
not really. I mean, it's still a body part, but that's probably it. It's just more visible.
Very interesting. So, why do you think that women in general beautify their feet if they don't want to really get complimented like that? Like, or because I hear that a lot. Like, a lot of women say, "Oh, that's strange. Like, why does a guy compliment me about my feet?" Like,
I don't know. I think it's more because of my personal feelings about feet. I don't think it's really because they like feet. It's just because I don't.
okay.
So you complimenting my feet is just like, okay, thanks.
Okay.
I don't
All
know.
right, Fred. All right, now, let's say a guy, like, he had like an extreme attraction to your feet, to the point where he wanted to give you foot massages, rub on them, kiss on them, smell on them, lick on them, all that type of stuff. Like, what are your thoughts about that?
If you want to, okay. But if you want to just be on my feet all day, then leave me alone.
Okay, so okay, that's interesting because you know, a lot of people, when a guy says he likes feet, they automatically go to foot fetish, which is actually not necessarily true 100% of the time.
Right.
Yes, that's a huge misconception that a lot of people have. So the main differences between the two is, like you said, like what it sounds like you're saying is a guy pretty much has a foot fetish. Like,
Right.
foot
if you have a
fetishes are, even though
similar-
they can be synonymous with each other. Guys who like feet and guys who like have a foot fetish, like the obsession of it and like I have to have it, that leans on the fetish side. Like, that's like you can't like get off unless you have it. Like, I have to have feet present or in my face or whatever the case may be. But see, I'm a guy. I can say I'm a guy who likes feet. I'm a guy who, like, I can look at a woman, look at her smile, look at her eyes, look at her breast, look at her bottom, and be happy with that. But if she has her feet out, that's a bonus. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do you understand kind of the differences now?
Yes.
Okay, like, so, what's my next? Okay, now, on a 1 to 10 scale, how important is a man's, like, physical, like, when it comes to allowing him to do all the previous things that I just mentioned? Like how important is that?
I'm gonna say like a 7.
Okay, so pretty high up there. Okay, and then the rest is like 30% personality. Am I right? Wrong?
See, it's a give or take. It really just depends on the person. It depends on the person.
All right.
Sometimes it could be 50-50. Sometimes it could be more or less. It just depends on the person and then the energy that they bring off.
So, like, would you say, like, most of the time, like, that particular guy has to be a looker for me to allow him to do all that? Like,
yes.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I think that's fair. Like, and the rest is, you say, personality. Okay.
Right.
Now, another hypothetical situation. Let's say a guy saw your feet and he approached you because he had an attraction to your feet. What do you think would be like the best approach or the best opening line that he could use as it pertains to his attractions to your feet?
Probably just talk about the color.
Okay.
Or
So
the
just
type of shoes that I'm wearing.
Okay. So pretty much like just sit there and just give you compliments, like to pretty much make you feel good with compliments.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, cause some women say things like, "Oh well, he shouldn't leave with that because he got to get to know me first." But I believe in being upfront and honest at the very beginning. So I kind of lean towards if there is an opportunity there, I would lean towards that. Because nobody wants to waste their time. You don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine. That type of thing. So a lot of women say that, but I do believe in being more direct. So that's a cool answer. I like that. Now, can we see your feet?
No.
Okay. Now, why do you say that?
Because I know that the paint is chipping off and they need to be done. So it's a no for me.
Now, a guy like me, what if I said I don't care about none of that?
I do.
Okay. Now, is there any other reason besides the chipping of the paint, like, that you feel like, I don't want to do it?
No.
Nah.
I just know I need to be done.
Okay, well, all right, well, let me kick to you the anxiety. This is where we get into the more anxieties portion of the interview.
Okay.
Now, have you ever heard of exposure therapy before? No? Okay, well, basically, exposure therapy is the idea of, let's say you have a fear of something in particular or an anxiety around something in particular. Basically, what exposure therapy does is it tells you to just keep approaching that situation until you get used to it, desensitized, if you will. Like, just keep going after it over and over and over again until you feel comfortable enough to say, hey, I think I can deal with this.
Okay.
And the rationale with that is, okay, well, before you enter that situation, you just say to yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Like, is it a threat to my health or is it a threat to my safety? And if it's not either or, then pretty much act opposite of whatever negative emotion you may have, because you could potentially be preventing yourself of a more positive experience that you never knew could have been positive. So basically what I'm doing with these interviews is helping women to kind of asking them referring them the question what's the worst that can happen? Like, pretty much like having them take a look at the situation and say, what in this situation can happen from me showing my feet? Like, even though I know I have a feeling about them being chipped, what bad can come out of that? Like, am I gonna die? Is lightning gonna strike, or what have you? Mm-hmm. And also, these interviews are to help the guys who, on the other end of my channel, who may be watching and thinking to themselves, dang, I don't have the courage to even talk to a woman about feet, because I know I like feet, but I'm scared to talk to women about it. So when they see these interviews, that kind of helps them build up the courage to like think to myself, well, what is the worst that can happen from asking a woman what he just asked her? So you see how I tie feet and anxieties together
Yes.
now? Okay, now based on what I just said, like what, like, do you think that there's anything bad that can happen from that, like from showing your feet?
They could go viral.
Go viral. Okay, let's say it does go viral. It goes viral, and a bunch of guys leave like a 1,000 something likes, 1,000 comments saying, "Oh, she's got pretty feet. Her feet are gorgeous. Like, this woman is amazing." Like, how would that feel in that moment if you saw that?
I mean, I would feel good.
Right. So why would going viral necessarily be a bad thing?
Because of the negative aspects. Because not everybody gonna say my feet's pretty.
Well, what about see? One thing about my channel is I don't allow people to talk negative about any of the women that I interview. Like, that's like, if there's a negative comment, I delete it. Like, but the majority of the comments that I get is like overwhelmingly positive. Like, and the guys are always saying, "Oh my God, you should have her back. She's such a beautiful woman with a beautiful personality," that type of thing. So,
Okay.
so why not just take this situation and like think about what positive can come out of it, rather than the negative that can come out of it. Like, so what I'm basically saying is, like, can you like kind of lean more towards a positive experience rather than like something bad coming out of it? Like,
Yeah.
Like-
I'm an overthinker, so I have that overthinking mindset. So I think about the scenarios that probably aren't even gonna happen ever.
right.
So, yeah. But I'm still not gonna show my feet.
All right, that's cool. Well, my final question as it pertains to the interview. Now, are you familiar with Instagram and OnlyFans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, in the day and age of Instagram and OnlyFans, where you got all these women who are quote unquote foot models, they go on OnlyFans, they go on Instagram, they promote themselves and make upwards of $1,000, $10,000 plus a month to show their feet to guys and cater to the guys who have an attraction to feet. Like, with all this going on in today's age in 2023, why do you believe that society still has a negative thought or stigma around guys who have an attraction to women's feet? As common as it is nowadays.
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess like tradition or old school like thoughts or methods. Because yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's different with this new generation, but they're still held back in a way, if that makes sense.
Okay, all right. Well, see, because a lot of people like, because this, I'm just gonna say it, like eating booty, like that's less frowned upon than actually liking feet. Like from what I've noticed, from what I've gathered, like it doesn't seem like that's as frowned upon as feet, even though it's all very common today. Both are very common today, but for whatever reason, eating booty is like less frowned upon than actually liking feet. Like, so I was just curious why you thought that was. Like, why do you think that's the case?
People are weird because I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know.
Okay.
I don't like either.
All right. All right. Well, to conclude this interview, what did you think about this entire experience from start to finish?
Unique.
Unique.
Yeah, very unique, unexpected.
Okay. Unique and unexpected. Okay. I like those words right there. And what, on a 1 to 10 scale, what would you rate my conversation skills throughout the interview?
I'll give you a 9.
A 9. Okay, awesome. Did you notice any stuttering, stumbling over words, or long pauses in the middle of a sentence?
Not too much.
Not too much.
Once or twice.
Okay, thank you for your honesty, because I kind of felt that way myself. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
And what did you think about my approach when I rode up on my bike and I asked you to do this interview?
I just wasn't prepared.
Wasn't prepared.
Yeah, but other than that, it was just another day.
Oh, so was it a good, bad?
It was all right. It wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
You said hello. You started off with the normal type of conversation and let me know what you had going on. So it was good.
Okay, all right. Now, and lastly, do you have any suggestions or critiques on how I can better my approach in the future?
That's a good question. Not really, only because I don't have enough information behind the
Just based off what you
in.
know, like as far as the whole interview went, like what you know as far as like how everything went, how I came at you, the questions that I asked.
Everything was good for the most part. Not that I could think of.
Oh, all right. Well, with that being said, we can wrap up the interview.
All right.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a great rest of your Friday.
Thank you as well.